So dear student, I Rakesh Jain from Gyanvihar University. Today I am going to teach you about the time response analysis of control system. Basically, the time response analysis means if in any control system the output varies for an input with respect to time. Okay, if the time is changes, then the output will be vary for a control system. That is known as time response analysis. Okay, so after the completion of this lecture, you will be able to understand that what are the different kind of test signal, like the unit step signal, ramp signal, unit parabolic signals, and how we will use them. What is the meaning of transient response, and what is the meaning of steady state response? So let's begin our journey with this uh, end file. So I am going to write down here the name of the topic, that is time response analysis. That is time response analysis. And so for any control system, if the output varies with respect to time, if the output of a control system for any input, for an input varies with respect to time, then it is called the time response of the control system. If the output of a control system, I am going to write down here the output of a control system varies for an input. Okay, for any input or for an input, the output of control system varies with respect to time. Time. Then it is called time response. Okay, then it is called the time response of the system. Time response of the and this is called the time response of a control system. If the output varies with respect to the time, basically this time response can be divided into two. We can split this into two basic parts. This time response of a control system, we can split this one into two basic parts. One is the transient response, and second one is the steady state response. One is the transient response, and second one is the steady state response. So basically, whenever we talk about that, we are going to find out the we are going to do the time response analysis. It means we have to see certain parameters, certain things related to the transient response, like the natural frequency, damped natural frequency, rise time, settling time, peak overshoot, like this one. So we will discuss later on these all. And in steady state, and also we have to find out some errors, like the for the ramp input, what is the steady state error, what is the steady state error for parabolic input, for ramp input, for unit step input, like this one. So that is a part of steady state analysis. So in transient analysis, we see certain parameters, and in steady state analysis, we will see the parameters related to the error. Okay, and the complete or completion of these two analysis known as a time response analysis of a control system. So the time response, the meaning of the transient response is, the meaning of the transient response is after applying the input to the control system, output take certain time to reach steady state. Steady state means, as the name implies, a constant kind of value. First of all, just to see the response here in this figure. We know that in control system we generally denoted the output in terms of CT, CS or CT. Okay, so here we just denote it by CT. And let's suppose here there is time, according to which this parameter will be varying. Okay. Now, if you talk about the response, then it will be looks like the response of a control system in time domain. This is what a response of the control system in time domain we can say. Response of control system in time domain. Let it be the response of control system in time domain. Then it will be divided into two basic parts, like this. Okay. So the value here, now see, okay, like this one. So till it will be changes, it will be in transient analysis. Okay. And when it will be in constant mode or going into the constant phase, it will be in the steady state. Okay, like this one. So this is a part of transient. This is a part of transient response, and this is a part of steady state response. Okay. This is the part of transient response. So I just write down as TR to kindly understand, and this is a part of steady state response. Okay. So for any time domain analysis, we just see that the structure related with this diagram is related with the transient response and the steady state response. Okay. After applying the input, we just see that let the time is 0. Then after applying the input, our output after some time will reach in the steady state position. So in between the steady state position means equivalent to constant value. So when it will reach up to the steady state value, output takes certain time to reach up to this value. So that output before the steady state response is in transient response. Okay. And the part of the time when the response will remains after the transient response is known as steady state response. The transient response will be 0 for large value of time. Remember this thing. The transient response will be 0 for large value of time. Okay. But the steady state value will be 0, after. Okay. Transient response will be 0 even in the steady state response. Okay. Now we will see the standard test signal. After this, we will see the standard test signal. Okay. You just type in message box okay, because I am a little bit have a doubt that you are able to see this screen MS Paint file. So write in message box okay. Yes, yes, yes. Right. So I just want to say that the transient response will be 0. Okay, if the time will reaches to 0. Okay. Now I just remove this MS Paint for this part, and we are going to see the test signal. Writing down here. There are some test signal in control system. There are some test signal. Test signal means we just use them as an input for any control system. So we will see that what kind of output will be generated. So that is known as test signals. Okay. So the standard test signals are impulse signal, ramp signal, step signal, parabolic signals. These signals are used to performance to check the to know the performance of a control system using time response of the output. So these are known as standard test signal. We can say these are known as standard signals, test signal. So what kind of standard test signal we will see? We will see basically 4 kind of test signal. One is the unit impulse signal. Second one is unit step signal. Third one is unit ramp signal. And and the last one is unit parabolic. So here we will use these kind of test signal, and we will see that what will be the output of that during the time response. So what is the meaning of these signals? What is the meaning of unit impulse? So they will be denoted as del t, ut, rt, and pt. These signals can be denoted, they can be abbreviated as, I'm going to write down here, unit impulse. So unit impulse signal can be denoted as del t. T here we use in the bracket because we are going to do the time response analysis, and to test those outputs of a control system we have to provide some inputs, and the inputs may be in the form of test signal, maybe these are the inputs of different kind of control system: unit ramp, unit impulse, unit parabolic, and unit impulse. So del t, if anyone write down, it means I am talking about the, this is del t. Okay, well, yes. So this is del t. Del t means unit impulse signal. Okay. Second one is ut. Ut means unit step input. Rt means unit ramp input. And the last one, unit parabolic, it will be denoted as pt. Yes. So these are different kind of inputs we will provide, and then we will check those values. Okay. Now see, now I'm going to remove these all, and we will see the different kind of test signal. So first of all, what is the meaning of unit impulse signal? What is the meaning of unit impulse signal? First of all, unit impulse. So what is the meaning of unit impulse signal? The unit impulse signal is only one. Only unit means one. We use the word. Actually, the name of the signals are ramp signal, parabolic signal, impulse signal, and step signal. Okay. We use the word unit. It means we are going to take the maximum magnitude which we want to present is equal to one. Okay. So what is the meaning of unit impulse signal? Unit impulse signal means del t is 0 for all value of t. But whenever t is equal to 0 exactly, at that time only its value is 1. What I want to say, now see this figure. Yes. Let on the x-axis time value is there. At the x-axis we use the time value. This is 0, and we want to present the unit impulse signal. So what is the meaning of unit impulse signal? Unit impulse signal means any value of t, t is 1, t is 2, t is 3, t is 4, any value of t, the value of del t is always 0. Okay, so del t is 0 always. Del t, unit impulse signal means whose value is always 0 whenever t is not equal to 0. Whenever t is not equal to 0. Okay, but whenever t is equal to 1, whenever t is 0, then the value of this unit impulse signal is 1. So at the this is the point. From this green color I am going to show you, this is the point where t is 0. So at this point the value of del t is equal to 1. Else at all point t is equal to 1 but it is 0, t is equal to 2, let's suppose it is 0, t is equal to any value of t which is not equal to 0, the value of del t is 0. So this is the meaning of unit impulse signal. Okay, so unit impulse signal exists only at t is equal to 0 only. The area of this signal under a small interval of time around t is equal to 0 is, okay, that is 1. So this is known as unit impulse signal. Now what is the meaning of unit step signal? So remember this definition, this value, how we can denote the unit impulse signal. Okay, now I am going to show you the second signal, that is unit step signal. of unit step signal? Yes. After see the message box. See the chat box. Now, what is the meaning of unit step signal? Unit step signal means a unit step signal UT. First we draw the diagram so you will able to understand. So let's suppose this is the y-axis, and this one is the x-axis. Okay. Now, unit step signal can be denoted as this one. Yes. So this is your unit step signal on the y-axis, UT, and the x-axis, this is U. Don't be confused with it. This is unit step signal on the y-axis, and on the x-axis, okay, there is time. So what we see that the unit step signal is always equal to 1 whenever t is equal to 0 or greater than 0. Okay, if t is less than 0, for example here at the left hand side we consider that t is less than 0, ut is 0. Okay. This is the time of t which is less than 0. So what is the meaning of ut? Just first I am going to write down that ut is always equal to 1 whenever t is equal to 0 or greater than 0. So equal to or greater than can be denoted by this sign. Okay, and if t is less than 0, then this ut is equal to 0. Okay, so here t is 0. Now with this green color I am going to show you. Here t is 0 but ut is 1. Here t is greater than 0, ut is 1. T is greater than 0, ut is 1. Whatever the value, 2, 3, 4, anything of t. So at any value of t which is greater than 0, we see that ut is constant, that is equal to 1. But whenever t is less than 0, this is a point of 0 and this is minus 1, let's suppose. But ut is 0. At minus 2, ut is 0. At minus 3, ut is 0. So at all values below the time t 0, the ut value, that is unit step input, is always 0. So that is known as unit step signal. Okay. Yes. See the message box. I am going to write down something. Yes. Now I am going to show you the next signals. So I just remove these signals. So yes, very good. So now I'm going to remove this and we will see the next signal. Now we see the unit ramp signal. What is the meaning of unit ramp signal? Unit ramp signal. So unit ramp signal can be denoted as RT, and with the help of diagram we can first represent that how it will be looks like. So for the value t is 0 or greater than 0, whatever the value of t, this is the value of unit ramp signal. So RT is equal to t, nothing else. If t is 2, then RT is also 2. If t is 3, then RT is also 3. So RT, that is unit ramp signal, is actually equal to the value of t. Okay? For t is equal to 0 or greater than 0. But if t is less than 0, it is also 0. So how we can represent a unit ramp signal? Just to see this one. So at the x-axis, as usual, we denoted the time period t. And on the y-axis, we are going to show the unit ramp signal. This is the value of t equal to 0. So the diagram will be looks like this one. Okay. And before the value of t, below the value of t is 0, below the value of 0. Now see with this blue color. Okay, if t is 0, rt is also 0. Let's suppose this is a point, t is equal to 1. So at this point, rt is also 1. At the point of, let's suppose this is t is equal to 2, then rt is also 2. So what is the meaning of this kind of analysis we will do? So what is the meaning of this one? The meaning of this one is rt is equal to, that is a unit ramp signal, is actually equal to the value of time t if t is equal to 0 or greater than 0. Okay. So it is equal to the time t. But if t is less than 0, then this value of rt, that is unit ramp signal, is also equal to 0. And this is known as the analysis of unit ramp. So see here with this orange color, t is 0, so it is also 0. T is whatever the value of t, according to that the value of rt is decided. For example, let's suppose here I want to see the value, then if here I consider that t is any value of 5 second, for example, then rt will be equal to the 5. Okay, the amplitude will be equal to the value of t. But whenever t is less than 0, so let's suppose here t is -1 but rt is 0, t is -2 but rt is 0. So for any value of t is less than 0, rt is also 0. So this one is known as unit ramp signal. This is known as unit ramp signal. Now I am going to show you the unit parabolic signal. What is the meaning of unit parabolic signal? So see this one. Yes. So unit parabolic signal. It is denoted by PT. That is denoted by. So these are four different test signal. Whenever we will do the steady state analysis or these analysis, it is clearly mentioned in the question. For example, find out the steady state error for this control system. A diagram is given either a formula is given, CS upon RS, whatever it is given. So find out the steady state analysis for a unit ramp input. So we should know that what is the value of unit ramp. Okay, at that time, either we have to use in the time domain, that is in terms of t, either we have to use in frequency domain with Laplace transform, by Laplace transformation of those values, that is related with s. Okay, we will see later on during the time of question. First let complete it. So what is the meaning of parabolic input? Parabolic input, as the name implies, it consists a unique parabolic signal. Okay, we can write down the unit parabolic signal pt in terms of unit step input also. So unit parabolic signal exists for all the value of positive value of t including 0. First of all, it will exist for t is equal to 0 or greater than 0, like the unit ramp, like the unit step. But its value increases non-linearly with respect to time. Non-linearly, like in case of unit ramp, you see that it increases linearly. A straight line is there, that is linearly. So whatever the value of t, that is the value of rt also. Okay, so linearly it will increase. But in case of unit parabolic input, the values increases continuously whenever t is increases. That's fine, but not linearly. It is not non-linearly. Okay, and for all the value whenever t is less than 0, the value of unit parabolic is also equal to 0. So first of all, I just draw the diagram, then you will understand. A small graph which show you the unit parabolic signal is this one. So at the x-axis, I just use the time t, and at the y-axis, I just use the parabolic signal pt. Okay. What I want to say that it will be looks like this one. Increase is there, but non-linear increase. Non-linear increase. Okay. So how we can denote this signal PT, parabolic signal. So parabolic signal exists like unit step and unit ramp for whenever the t is value is greater than or equal to 0. First of all, it is clear. Right. But what is the value of PT? The PT is a parabolic signal. That's why we can write down t square by 2. This is the formula for a parabolic signal existence. T square by 2 for t is greater than or equal to 0. And if t is less than 0, then what will happen? If t is less than 0, then what will happen? If t is less than 0, it is also 0. So how we can understand? Let's take an example. Now let's take an example. So see here, let's suppose at this position t value is 2. Okay, then definitely whatever the value we will find here of PD, it will be let another value 3, because in the case of 2 value we will find out in the answer 2. Okay. So let's suppose here 3 is there. So what is the value of PT is here? Because t is 3. So t square by 2 is what? T square, that is 3 square, that is 9, divided by 2, that is 4.5. So the value of PT we will find out as 4.5. Okay. So like this one, t square by 2 we will find out. And if t is increases further, let's suppose t is here 5, because t is increases, that's why PT is also increases, but not linearly. Means it is 5, but it is not 5. It is 5 square by 2, that is 25 by 2. So that is 12.5. So PT is increases, but not in linear order. It is non-linear. Okay. So I just remove this example. I hope you understand about this parabolic signal also. Now, if the value is less than 0, then what will happen? If the value is less than 0, if t is less than 0, then pt is 0. Then pt is 0. Okay. So this is known as unit parabolic signal. Unit parabolic signal. Now, once again, see the chat box and do it. Now do it. So I will remove this MS Paint file and we will see the next step. Now I am waiting for your response. Now see the chat box and do it so that I will proceed. Ganesh, if you are able to hear me, then do it positively. Dushyant or Ganesh, see the chat box and do it positively. So if you understand the test signal, yes. If you understand the test signal, now I am going to remove this. So do it. Yes. Yes, I find out. Now I remove this MS Paint file and we will see the test signals. And we will see the response. Okay. Now let us, first of all, we just consider a closed loop system. Okay? And we will consider any transfer function, that is Cs upon Rs. So we will see what will happen. What is the meaning of first order system? What is the meaning of second order system? So now see what is the meaning of first order system. We have to apply all these time response analysis, that is transient response analysis and steady state response analysis, for first order system, second order system, like this order of the system. So what is the meaning of, in a very simple language, what is the meaning of order of a system in a very simple language? So order of a system means whenever you see any transfer function of a control system, if the denominator term consists the highest order power of s equal to 2, that is s square in the denominator. If you find out the highest order power of s as s square, then that is known as second order system. If you find out in the denominator the highest order power of s equal to 1, that is, let's suppose 1 upon s plus 3, this is a transfer function. of a control system. Then what is the order of this system? Because the maximum power at the denominator is s raised to the power 1, because s plus 3 it means s raised to the power 1. So this is known as first order system. Let's suppose you have a transfer function of a control system as cs upon rs is equal to 5s divided by s square plus 2s plus 5. So what is the highest order power of s in the denominator? That is s square. So because s raised to the power 2 is there, this is the maximum power of s. So this is known as second order system. Third order system means the maximum power of s in the denominator is 3. Let's suppose a transfer function cs upon rs is equal to 10 divided by s cube plus 5s square plus 3s plus 2. So what is the highest power of s is in the denominator? S cube. So that is s raised to the power 3. So that is known as third order system. That is known as third order system. So let's see the first order system first, and then we will see the analysis on that system. Then second order system, and we will find out the analysis on that system. So see the first order system. So I am going to remove this MS-Pen file. See the first order system analysis. Okay. Now we have to see the first order system analysis. So let's suppose we have a open loop, we have a closed loop control system. Let's consider a closed loop control system. Let's consider a closed loop control system. Let's consider a closed loop control system, which I am going to draw. So this is the input part. So RS we denote it by RS, as we know. Okay. And this is the forward signal gain. Here let's suppose there is a forward signal gain. Okay, there is a summing junction, because it is a closed loop control system. So there must be a feedback from the output towards the input, and a forward gain is also present. So there is a forward gain, then this is a feedback. Okay, so this is a closed loop control system. Let unity feedback is there, it means direct line is connected. We will consider the gain is 1, feedback gain is 1, and the forward gain is, let's suppose, 1 divided by st we consider. Let's suppose for analysis, let's suppose the forward gain is 1 divided by st, any value is written, and the output is denoted by cs. So if we talk about this, will be looks like a block diagram. Okay, and we know how to find out the transfer function with the help of block diagram detection technique. So there is a rule of feedback. Whenever feedback is present, solve the feedback loop. So how we will solve the feedback loop to find out the transfer function? Forward gain divided by 1 plus or minus forward gain multiplied by feedback gain, because there is a negative sign. Whenever the feedback reaches at the summing junction, there is a negative sign. I am showing you with this green color. This is a negative sign. So that's why the formula for transfer function for this block diagram is, for this response is cs divided by rs, that is equal to forward gain. What is the forward gain? 1 divided by st is the forward gain, divided by, this is my forward gain. Okay. 1 plus or minus, because minus sign is there, that's why we have to use the plus sign. Forward into feedback. So forward is 1 divided by st. And what is the feedback gain? Because there is a unity gain is present, only unit is present, that's why 1 is the feedback gain. So what is the answer of this cs upon rs here? What is the final term of cs upon rs? So cs upon rs is equal to 1 upon st will be the LCM, so st to st cancel out. So here we will find out only st plus 1. is st plus. So this is the transfer function for this loop. This is the transfer function for this loop. And when we will look at this, the transfer function of this loop, the power of s in the maximum power of s in the denominator is equal to 1. That's why this is known as first order system. This is known as first order system. What is the maximum power in at the denominator side? See, the maximum power of s is 1. Only one s is present and the power is nothing. So it means s power is 1. So this is known as first order system. So this is known as first order system. I want to show you the order of the system right now. First order system. This is known as first order system. This is known as first order system. Okay. So we will see the first order system, and then we have to find out the different analysis on this first order system. Okay, and then we have to see the consider. Then we have to consider the unit step input, and then what will be the response. Then unit ramp, then what will be the response. Then unit impulse, then what will be the response. But on first order system. Now, what is the meaning of second order system? We will begin the journey with this. But what is the meaning of second order system? Let's suppose. So let's suppose my second order system. So what is the meaning of second order system? So this is the first order system. Remember this, and we have to find out the different analysis on this first order system. So first we complete this first order system. Okay. So Cs upon Rs is equal to 1 upon St plus 1. So it is first order system. So we have to see the different analysis. Okay. Now, now we see the time response analysis for this first order system. So what is the first order system? In a very simple language, we can say first order system is Cs is equal to 1 upon St plus 1. See very carefully. St plus 1 multiplied by Rs. Multiplied by Rs. So we will take now the different Rs. Rs comes from RT. Rs comes from RT. Okay. So when we will do the Laplace transformation of RT, then it will be converted into Rs. So we will put the value of Rs here, and we will see what are the different formula for the Cs, and then we will find out what is the different formula for the RT. Okay. So let's, for the unit impulse, what will happen for a unit impulse? A unit impulse case. So in case of unit impulse, we will just see it is denoted by del t. It is denoted by del t. Okay. It is denoted by unit impulse signal is denoted by del t, whose value is 0 always for t is greater than or equal to 0. Whose value is always, so RT is del t. We consider RT as del t. This unit impulse is known as R. So we have to find out first of Rs. So Rs means the input. So at the input side, we consider this is input side. So RT. So RT is del t. Let's suppose RT is del t. Means we consider the input. Rs means input. So what is the inverse Laplace of Rs? That is RT. So what is my input? Input in case of time domain, that is RT. Input in case of S domain, that is in Laplace, Rs. Okay, so we need Rs value. So it means we have to need RT value, then convert it into Laplace transformation. So RT is, let's suppose del t. It means let's suppose the input is unit impulse. So what is the Rs value? So whenever we perform the Laplace transformation of unit impulse, it will be equal to 1 always. It will be equal to 1 always. Okay. So what is the value of Cs now for a unit impulse? The value of Cs is, because Rs is equal to 1, so only 1 upon St plus 1 will be remaining. Only, sorry, 1 upon St. It's not 5, this is S. Okay, plus 1. Multiply by Rs, but Rs is 1. Rs is 1. Okay, so there is no meaning to write down this Rs. So it means Cs is equal to St plus 1. Cs is equal to St plus 1. So we can take T as a constant. t as a constant, then what will happen? So this will be equal to 1 divided by, if I take t as a constant, then this will be equal to s plus 1 upon t, s plus 1 divided by t, s plus 1 divided by t. Okay. So what it will, when we will do the Laplace transformation, when we will do the Laplace transformation of this, so what is the Ct? We will find out the response Cs. So what is the Laplace, with the help of inverse Laplace, we will find out Cs as Ct. So Ct will be equal to, from the Laplace transformation rule, we will find out that it will be equal to s plus 1 upon t. That's why 1 upon t e raised to the power minus t by t ut. So this will be equal to 1 divided by t exponent function we will find out. So minus t divided by t. If you don't know the Laplace, don't be confused. We will see later on after this. So this will be the after the Laplace transformation. We will find out like this. So it is equal to 1 upon t e raised to the power minus t by t. Okay, so this is the analysis of unit impulse. Similar to this, we have to find out. So if we draw the graph, then how the graph will be looks like? The graph of this will be looks like this. So because minus t by t, it means decreases. So exponent decrease will be there. So exponent decrease will be there. We will find out as exponent decrease. Okay. So exponent decrease we will see. So this is the unit impulse response analysis of first order system. Now if we want to see the unit impulse response analysis for first order system, now we will see the unit step analysis. Then we will stop our today lecture. Okay, first, so once again send a snapshot, and then I will show you within 2 minutes the unit step analysis for this first order system. Send a snapshot right now. Ganesh, if you hear me out, then send it. Yes. Very good. Now I am going to show you the unit step analysis. This is unit impulse analysis. Now we have to see. Now we have to see the unit step analysis for this first order system. Unit step means UT. So here in this case, RT is equal to the input, RT is equal to UT. And we know that its value is always equal to 1. So what is the Laplace transformation of 1? Okay, so that will be 1 by s. And if RT is UT, then RS, the Laplace transformation of this unit step function, is always equal to 1 by s. So remember that whenever a unit impulse signal is there, what is the Laplace transformation? Laplace transform is equal to 1. But if the input is ut, what is the Laplace transformation of ut, that is unit step signal? That will be equal to 1 by s. So what is cs now? See fastly. So cs is equal to, already there is 1 upon st plus 1. 1 upon st plus 1 is already present, and here that will be multiplied by rs. So what is rs? Rs is now 1 by s. Rs is now 1 by s. Okay, so that is 1 by, so we have to find out the answer. So cs is equal to 1 by s, 1 by s st plus 1. So how we can find out the, so we know the partial fraction method. So a divided by s plus b divided by st plus 1. We have to find out b divided by s. We know the partial fraction method. So b divided by st plus 1. In mathematics, you have already been seen like this term. Then we have to find out the value of a and b. Then we have to put some value of, to find out the value of a and b. So it will be 1 is equal to a multiplied by st plus 1 plus bs. Okay. To find out the value, different value, we have to put those value. So we will find out a is equal to 1, okay, and b is equal to minus t. Okay, directly I am going to show you, but you will check this one. Firstly, I am going to show you. If you have any problem, then in next lecture you will ask me, because time is very low. So a you will find out as 1. With this partial fraction method, you will find out a is equal to 1 and b is equal to minus t. You will find. Okay. If you will not able to find out these value, then ask me in next question, next lecture, so I will solve your query. So it will be 1 by s minus t upon st plus 1. T upon st plus 1. Within 1 minute I am leaving you. Okay, so it will be 1 upon s minus, if you take the t as common from the second term, then it will be 1 by s minus t is common, so t to cancel out. That will be 1 upon s plus 1 upon t. Okay, now finally, what will be the Ct? By inverse Laplace transformation, we will find out the value of Ct. Firstly, I am going to show you. So it will be equal to, because 1 upon s, so what is the inverse Laplace? It will be ut. Okay, it will be ut, because the ut Laplace is 1 upon s. So it will be ut minus 1 upon, so s plus 1 upon t, so that will be e raised to the power minus t by t ut. Okay, e raised to the power minus t by t ut will be e raised to the power minus t by t. Okay, but we can use always ut at any place, because ut value is equal to 1 always. For example, here also we can write down, in the previous case, okay, we can also write down. So what is Ct? So Ct is whenever we take the ut as common, so we will take ut as common. Okay, so this one is Ct, we can take ut as common, so 1 minus e raised to the power minus t upon t. 1 minus e raised to the power minus t upon t. Okay, and ut is common. So I hope you understand. If you have any problem, then you'll ask me in next lecture. So I, Rakesh Jain from Gyanmar University, wants to thanks for watching the video. In next lecture, we will see the remaining unit impulse and unit parabolic and unit ramp response for first order system and second order system analysis. And then after those completion of those analysis, we will begin our journey with numericals. So thank you very much for watching the video.